Alrighty. Well, it's early in the morning. What time is it here? It's 3:36 in the morning. Yeah, it is. Alright. It's 3:36 in the morning. And I'm having a cuddle with my Rocky. I just gave him a little bit of food a little while ago. And I mixed some water in with his wet food so that he can get a little more hydration because he's dehydrated. He is losing muscle mass. The cancer is basically eating him up. I still don't really believe he's ready to leave this world yet, but he is on a slow decline, and the cancer is winning. But um, we're just living a day at a time, Rocky and I. So that's where we're at. Yesterday was kind of a tough one for Rocky. Poor wee guy. He had oh my goodness, poor wee guy had to go to the vet. He had to go to the vet. You don't like that. Um, he had to get an antibiotic shot. You don't like that. Um, oh my goodness. And then he had to be given fluids, which involves putting a needle under his skin at the nape of his neck and pumping fluids into him, like a solution of fluids, which he also does not like. Um, yeah, and of course he had to have his bandage changed, which he doesn't like. So, poor Rocky did not have an easy day yesterday. Today is going to be a little easier, but it's still not going to be all that easy. He's got to have more fluids today, which means going through that process again this afternoon, which he did not like. And it means, on top of that, hi, beautiful boy. And it also means having his bandage changed, of course, which we do every day, but he does not like that at all. So, hey, you, hey, beautiful boy. Hey, it's okay. He's a tough little fella. Always has been, you know. Hey, you're a tough man, Rocky. Anyway, this is part of the journey that Rocky and I are on, I guess. We're coming to the end of it. We're coming to the end of it. But we're not there yet. I show you people this not because I'm looking for sympathy or anything like that. Not because I want to make you sad. But because, pardon me, um, but because I'm trying to portray things honestly. And of course, this is part of that. I mean, this is part of what we go through. Um, for anyway, yeah, this is part of what we go through. I'm making another cat here with the fur. I swear I've got a whole other cat in my mouth right now. Anyway, um, yeah. Pardon on my nose blowing. Um, I can't really breathe if I don't do that. Oh, itchy ears and stuffed nose. Having a rough time of it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. I believe Rocky, there he is. He's over there. He likes to sleep up there. That's gotten to be his favorite sleeping place these days. Um, anyway, well, this is, kind of the, sad part. This is kind of the sad part of being blessed. Of being blessed with the presence of a soul like Rocky. Like I say, I don't know how long he has. I think myself and the veterinarian are at odds over the timing. They want to put him down now, pretty much. Um, he still has some quality of life. Um, yes, he's not 100%, and he isn't going to be 100% ever again. But he does still have some quality of life, and it's hard. It's hard like that. As hard as life is for him in right now in so many ways, I believe he's still enjoying life. And see, the thing is, the vet wants to put him down now. And for myself, I want to wait until there's nothing left, you know. And that's the difference, I guess. And yesterday, when we had the conversation with the vet tech girl, very nice girl, but when we had the conversation with her, I told her, I said, Rocky's not ready. And she said, you're not ready. And the thing is, she's right. I'm not ready. But I am not going to be ready either. You know? Like, there is not going to be a time when I am ready. But this isn't about me, you know. It isn't about me and whether I'm ready or I'm not ready or anything else. Like I say, I can guarantee you I am not going to ever be ready for what's coming. But I am a realist and I know what's coming. There's a lot of things coming that I'm not looking forward to. Losing Rocky is definitely one of them, but it's not the only thing. Uh, Life is fixing to get a lot harder. All across the board, it is. And I'm not looking forward to any of it. I don't want any part of any of it. But I'm going to follow my conscience and I'm going to do what my conscience guides me to do and what God guides me to do. And I pray about it. I ask God for wisdom to figure it out. I ask God for wisdom to help me with this situation with Rocky, to know what to do where he's concerned. And I believe God gives me that. On my own, I'm an idiot. I can figure out ways to screw things up that modern science has not figured out yet. You know, um, really. I mean, it really is true. Um, and I've proven that many times. And that's why I know enough to ask God to help me with these things. Because on my own, I'll definitely screw it up. And on my own, I won't know. I'll be too foolish to know when the right time is for Rocky to leave this world. But um, I know that God is guiding me in these matters, and I know that He's going to help me through all this stuff. He's going to help us through it, and He's going to give me the ability to know when the time is right, and I'm not going to be told when the time is right by another person, because another person is really no smarter than I am, even if they have an education. In fact, sometimes having a lot of education creates a different kind of stupidity. There are lots of different kinds of ignorance in this world, and a lack of formal education is just one of them. Now, by modern standards, I do lack formal education. I have my high school. That's what I've got. In the 1950s, I'd be highly educated, because most people didn't have their high school. But by modern standards, I'm a poorly educated man, for certain. However, um, however, I have experience. I have a lot of experience. I've done a lot of knocking around in this world. I've been through some really hard times. Going through some hard times now, but I've been through even worse than this. I've um I've seen horrible things. You know, I've seen things that really are the stuff of nightmares happening in real life, and I've dealt with violence and death and conflict and corruption. I've seen corruption that would just freak you right out. You know, some of the corruption I've seen, it's been just horrible. And I've also seen the opposite. I've seen a lot of beautiful things. I've seen a lot of, I've seen a lot of really lovely things. I've seen people at their worst and I've seen them at their best. Sometimes at the same time, you know, sometimes at the same time, as strange as that may sound. I've sometimes the worst situations bring out the best in people. Look at those glowing eyes. You, oh my goodness, Rocky, you're quite the cat. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here, I need to get more of this stuff here. I got one hand to work with here. Here we go now. Yeah. Hey. Honey, I remember when Rocky and Muella were kittens. You guys got into a lot of mischief together, you did. Really pissed me off sometimes, some of the stuff they did. But I remember one time when they were kittens, they got into my stash of toilet paper. Rocky was always like the engineer. He'd figure out how to do things. And Rocky figured out how to open cupboards. And he opened up the cupboard under the bathroom sink in my old apartment in Perth, above the Royal Bank in Perth. And got into my toilet paper stash. And him and Muella had a great afternoon while I was away um, with the toilet paper. Well, I came home that evening, and that apartment, you should have saw it. It was toilet paper from one end to the other. I don't think I had a single roll of toilet paper that they didn't get and just tear apart and unroll and no, they had a great afternoon, I'm sure, playing with the toilet paper. But oh man, I came in, I was mad. The good times came to an end in a hurry. When I came in, I was just like a bear. I was so mad. And anyway, probably put the fear of God into both of them. I was, cause I had a real temper when I was younger. I had a serious temper. You know, wasn't a good one to fool around with. Anyway, um, they knew. They knew they did wrong, I'll tell you. By the time I got finished, they knew they had done something they shouldn't have done. But anyway, I look back on it now and I regret having the kind of a temper I had. But um, I was in my 30s and I had had a very hard, very violent life. And I had, like I say, by that time I'd seen more of it most people had seen in a lot longer a life, and most of it hadn't been good. And I was fed up to the back teeth with the whole thing, you know. So I come home and this is what I found. Oh, what a friggin' mess! I'll tell you, toilet paper can make a hell of a mess of a place. It gets everywhere. When you get a couple of young cats shredding it up, it gets everywhere. And I mean, they had they had gotten every roll. There was about 30 rolls under that sink, and they got every one of them. And oh, what a mess! Anyway, that's a time of my life that I wish I could relive and do things differently. But of course you can't. All you can do is learn. And yeah, I'll tell you, quite what a situation. You know, I had a bad time cleaning all that up. And I mean, I didn't brutalize Rocky and Muella or anything, but they did get slapped around some. I'll tell you, they both knew. They got yelled at and they did get hit a few times. Each of them did, you know. So, like I say, um, I didn't have a lot of tolerance for foolishness in those days. But I had a pretty short fuse. And of course, I had to be on my guard all the time because there was always some asshole on the street wanting to fight with me or whatever. I had guys coming after me wanting to beat the hell out of me because of rumors they heard or because they just thought they could. They thought I was weak and they thought they could. So, because of that, I had developed a real temper. I didn't always know though how to regulate it. I think the big thing now is as I'm getting to be an old man, really, I've learned how to regulate my temper. You know, and I mean, I'll tell you, even to this day, I am capable of killing a person. You know, and if somebody come at me and brought violence, I would be quite capable of killing that person. But I'm not as quick to jump on a situation as I once was, and I'm not as reactive as I once was. And I mean, a person would have to pose a physical threat to me before I'd react in the way that I reacted sometimes back then. The things that went on, the situations, the conflict situations, and so on, you know. Anyway, there's my Rocky. He's a beautiful gift from God, and he's taught me a lot. Believe it or not, Rocky has taught me a lot about being patient and being slow to anger and being quick to forgive. And like I say, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you allow a situation to continue. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you even allow a person back into your life who's hurt you. But what it means is that you don't go around hating and holding a grudge and plotting revenge and so on, you know. That's what forgiveness means. A lot of people don't understand forgiveness. When I was young, I didn't understand it. It took me a long time to figure it out. But like I say, forgiveness doesn't mean, okay, come back in and do that to me again. That's not forgiveness. That's being an idiot. That's being a sucker. That's being a weak fool. But it does mean that you don't hold hatred in your heart. And it means that you're not continuously out looking to pay back. You did this to me, so now I'm going to do that to you. Or whatever. That's what forgiveness means. Anyway, I'm learning still. I'm got a long way to go yet, but I'm smarter than I was. And I'm hoping to get smarter the longer I go on. And I'm hoping that, like I say, and definitely Rocky has played a part in that. He's taught me a lot. Just by being the way he is, he's taught me a lot. And I believe that's probably why why he came into my life, and why I've had 17 years with him, um, which is 84 years in Rocky's years and cat years. He's actually an 84-year-old man in cat years. He's 17 in calendar years, though. But it could be that he's been with me as long as he has been. Because I'm a bit of a slow learner, you know. And it might be that it takes me a long time to figure things out. So Rocky, being the patient teacher that he is, has you can hear the coyotes. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up or not, but they're close. They're really close. They were close last night too. Anyway, the thing is, maybe that I'm a little slow on the uptake, but I do eventually learn. And Rocky has definitely taught me a lot. And like I say, I know that God will guide me through this situation. I've asked him to, and there's no doubt in my mind that he will. Anyway, there's Rocky. There he is on me. I don't know what you can see really, but there he is. He's on top of me, having to sleep. Alright. We'll see you later.